Today, let's take a look at the tool that has transformed how I trade within EVE Online and that has finally convinced me to try industry. Hey there, Croven here for the Drone Bay, and today we're going to discuss EVE Guru. And at the end, I'm going to give you a tip to save you a ton of time if you decide to give it a try. EVE Guru is a tool that was introduced in 2024. At that time, it was a purely industrial tool to help folks who wanted to build things find profitable items to construct and help organize the complicated workflow of builds beyond simple Tech 1 blueprints. Essentially, the goal was to make industry more profitable and more accessible. Fern Kitsuan, one of the two folks behind EVE Guru, along with Ray Zolo, has expressed that this was a major goal of the industry tool. On its face, the industry tool functions similarly to apps like EVE-ISK per hour, though I prefer the UI and user experience of EVE Guru. At launch, I was intrigued, but I held off because they also teased future features that really had me interested: station and regional trade. For the noobros out there, those terms are fairly straightforward. Station trading is buying and selling items within a single station, and regional trading is a form of arbitrage, moving items from one area of space to another region with better prices. In most instances, this means moving things from JITA to just about anywhere else. I have dabbled in station trading for most of my time in EVE, as it has always been a relatively passive way to make ISK. Until fairly recently, I was absolutely clueless when it came to making spreadsheets, and I'm still pretty new. So the go-to method was making large, in-game market quick bars and manually checking the buy and sell prices. This worked reasonably well, but it is a lot more time-intensive than I would have liked. When it came to region trading, I relied on things like evetrade.space and eveterminal.io. Now, both of those websites are gone. Thankfully, EVE Guru provides an alternative. Beyond that, I believe it is a far superior alternative to those old tools. The industry module will give you literal step-by-step instructions and a complete shopping list for whatever it is you want to build. It will also sort items by ISK per hour, total return on investment, absolute profit, or any number of other parameters. It will tell you the number of days worth of product are currently available on whichever market you choose as well. I am admittedly somewhat new to the industry tool, but so far I'm really enjoying it. You can add in your own profiles for player-owned structures that calculate all of the relevant modifiers for system index and bonuses for rigs and things like that. One more note on industry: in October of 2025, EVE Guru announced that they were opening up their own structures in the Auner system in order to provide players with a place to research, run reactions, and build ships and modules. They picked that system because it's within jump freighter range of all of the major trade hubs. There's also a long-term goal of really beefing up the market in Rens, which I think is an admirable aspiration. Finally, they have arranged discount hauling rates to and from their own structures, so you can save some money if you decide to take them up on it. Honestly, if you're an experienced industrialist, the official EVE Guru videos are going to give you a much better idea of what the module is capable of than I currently can, so let's move on to trade. If you've ever looked into passive ISK generation, especially on YouTube, you probably found a video about station trading. Like I mentioned above, I have engaged with station trading at various levels for years now. EVE Guru's module has been an absolute game changer for me. Even after I learned how to make my own rudimentary spreadsheets, EVE Guru is able to give me a level of control over my potential profit margin and risk that I have found in any tool before or since. Being able to filter results by margin percentage, minimum level of absolute profit, and potential risk will absolutely change the game for all but the absolute spreadsheet masters. Even then, someone else is doing all that labor for you. They also do the work of calculating your tax and broker fees based on your individual trade character's ESI pulls. That means if you have different skills or standings on different characters, that gets accounted for. Before we get to the final feature, the one that has really boosted my market trading to the next level, I want to talk about what is likely the largest barrier to entry for many capsuleers getting into EVE Guru. So we have this tool that I think is superior to pre-existing tools, some of which no longer exist. What's the catch? Well, EVE Guru has a paywall, and for a new player, that paywall is not insignificant. The industry and station trading modules cost 200 million ISK per month each. If you use them regularly, you should have no problem paying that off pretty quickly. Everything after that is profit. Still, it's a calculation you need to keep in mind before committing. That said, there is a 30-day free trial for both of those modules, and you can get 20% off your first month's subscription by using my discount code, DroneBay, one word, all caps. If you sign up using my code, I'll also get a credit toward my own subscription, so we all win. With that out of the way, let's talk about the regional day trading module. This is hands down the best ISK making tool I have ever seen for EVE since 2006. While this tool is incredibly powerful for reasons I'll get into in a moment, I want to start off by saying that this is not a tool for new bros. First, it requires moving valuable goods across New Eden quickly. This is the day trading module after all. It capitalizes on significant, often very temporary market gaps across regions. That means access to freighters or Tech 2 haulers, or enough liquidity to pay someone else to haul it for you quickly. That's above and beyond the cost of the goods themselves. If you don't have at least $1 billion or $2 billion liquid after your logistics needs and the subscription cost, maybe build up your capital a bit more before taking this on. If you'd rather go for it anyway though, hey, I'm not your dad. Now, on to that subscription cost. This module comes with some sticker shock at $1 billion ISK per month. That is a big paywall for an EVE Online third-party tool, no doubt. But I want to show you something. This is my EVE Tycoon snapshot for the last 7 days. One more note, they are going to be adding something that functions like EVE Tycoon to EVE Guru, but it's not there yet, so you do still need to make use of that tool to get the most accurate results and most granular results, but it's not super necessary. So again, this is my snapshot for the last 7 days. In those 7 days, I've profited more than 5 billion ISK in trade alone, spending at most a couple hours per day. I'm moving, on average, between 4 and 6 billion ISK in goods per day, so your mileage may vary depending on how much liquidity you have. Like with station trading, the regional module gives you some great dials to turn to customize your risk tolerance, minimum margin, minimum demand per day in your target system, days of supply, all of those fun things. It also lets you set up custom markets if you want to move things outside of the major trade hubs. In an interview, Fern Kitsuin said that some of their baseline data comes from Atom4Eve, a popular site amongst traders. He said they take that data, then apply some additional math to get a more accurate demand picture. I can't explain exactly how they do it, but I can tell you that my experience certainly indicates that it works. You can also look for things to bring back to JITA with the regional day trading module. As any space trucker will tell you, you don't want an empty hauler for one leg of the run if at all possible. I've found that you're a lot less likely to find many things to take to the largest trade hub in the game, but it does happen. As an outlier example, my very first day using the module, I picked up a Balgorn into Dixie and took it to JITA for a profit of over 500 million ISK. Do note that is by no means a usual occurrence. The base assumption behind the regional day trading module is that you'll be hauling your own goods. I don't like hauling, so I don't do it. That said, some people do like it. Hiring a freight corp doesn't necessarily guarantee your delivery time, so you're fairly likely to miss out on margins. The best answer to that, in my opinion, is the haulers channel in-game. They have a rate calculator based on collateral, number of jumps, and cargo volume. I tend to pay pretty much what the calculator estimates and set my contracts to 1 day to accept and 1 day to complete. Of the dozens that I've issued, I think I've had 2 not make it to the destination within at most 8 hours. Most are much less than that. Still, if you enjoy hauling and can do so safely, you'll make slightly better margins than I do, and you'll have absolute control over how long it takes for your goods to reach the market. If I were watching this video right now, I would be asking, Kroven, why are you telling us about this? Won't it cut into your profits? Maybe, but probably not a ton, honestly. There is a high barrier to entry, and while it's largely passive, you do have logistics that have to be handled. That said, the loss of EveTrade.space means that a lot more of the casual region traders may be completely out of the game now, so margins have been higher than I've seen them in a while. Also, while this module is amazing for short-term turnarounds, it's not going to predict long-term trends based on things like events, patches, etc. Hint hint for future videos. If you can afford it and are willing to commit the necessary capital, it really is the easiest way I've found to make money in the game. Again, you can get a 20% discount by using the code DRONEBAY, one word, all caps. I will put a link down in the description. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a like and subscribed to the channel. We are coming back off a break of a few months from EVE and about a year from YouTube. I am feeling re-energized for both after some real-life things happened, and I'm already planning for future videos. So, until next time, keep flying.